$64,597 to pay for the food that you're going to eat in retirement, and you're going to need that money on the day you retire. Do you have it? Do you have it? If not, you can't retire, right? Because you need $164,597 the day you retire to pay for your food consumption. Let's just relax again, because we're going to look at that Fidelity study with the screaming headlines that say you need $286,000 in after-tax money to pay for your health care, and that's without even including long-term care. And oh my goodness, how scary is that? Because no one has $286,000 after-tax money to pay solely for health care when they have all their money saved up that's going to pay for everything. So how can they possibly retire? What should they do? Of course, Fidelity says save more. Insurance company says buy insurance products. So if we use those same data sets and we say, if that is the case where we got to use the numbers that Fidelity shows us on how much we need in healthcare and retirement, how much we need to as a net present value today from a lump sum after tax amount, well, let's do the same thing. Back test it out with food, with transportation, with housing, with healthcare, and everything, and entertainment. And we'll say, well, if we need this amount for that amount for this, and this amount for that amount for this, we add all these up, no one can ever retire other than Jeff Bezos. So let's dive right into this. Don't forget to subscribe down below, my friends. As always, thumbs up, comments always help, and smash it. All right. So we're going to look at, I guess we'll start with the Fidelity thing here. I don't know if I want it. And so how much will healthcare cost in retirement? They talk about that. They get this nice little study that says you need $260,000 the day you retire in which to pay for your healthcare, which doesn't include long-term care. It only includes the out-of-pocket expenses in your Part A, Part B, and Part D premiums. All right. So then we're going to extrapolate from the BLS, the average expenditures by age of reference person. And we're just going to use, and just to give you back, if you haven't watched the other video I did yesterday where I showed you that their numbers are pretty much spot on. So they were using healthcare costs about $11,000 a year. I think Fidelity is using about $10,000 a year, and they're doing it for 22 years, which is how they came up with the $286,000 or whatever it is this year. At the end of the day, we'll just say $300,000. And I basically used $11,000, and I said, okay, let's use that number, 11,000. We'll inflate it at 5.5% a year, where I did it for 25 years, from 65 until 90. Yeah, till 90, and Fidelity did it for 22 years on average. So the numbers are pretty close. All right, and I was pretty pleased to see that. So now I'm going to use food, because healthcare represents 11.1% of expenditures for people 55 and older. All right, and as you get older, 55. Let's see, to 64 is 8.8, 12. So you can see how the numbers go up gradually relative to your overall income. But I'm just going to say 55 and older. That's what we're going to use, and we're going to use that for food. So food right here is $6,000 a year is what we need, which from 55 and older. So everybody over the age of 55 spends 12.3% of their average income on food. Everybody over the age of 55 spends 11.1% of their average income on health. Everybody over the age of 55 spends 32.9% on housing. So I said, okay, let's just back you and use net present value calculation to get a gauge of how much you'll need today if you're going to retire today. Let's say you're 65 for food consumption. And so I just did my quick and easy spreadsheet here. And basically what we're saying is if we have a 3% rate of return, so we're going to inflate food by, I'll show you right here. So as you can see, we're going to take $6,800, and I think that's what we got from food, because we inflated that for a couple years. $6,800. Oh, is that food I was looking at? Hold on just a second. Yeah, food. Okay. So we're going to use $6,800 is what we're saying for food, what it costs, because the BLS is from 2014. We want to inflate it for today. And we're saying it costs $6,800 is what we're going to spend on food. All right. Now, the next year it's going to be $6,800 plus 3%. We're going to inflate it for food, as you can see, times 1.03. It'll be, and just keep doing that each and every year. So we're going to inflate the total cost for food from $6,800 to $7,000, $7,200 until we get down here when we're 25 years later, which is at 90 years old, and we die. And what was $6,800 in terms of inflated dollars is now $13,823. So we spent a grand total of $247,922 on food. All right. Now we're going to take that. We're going to do a present value. How much do we need today to be able to afford 240, we'll just say $250,000 in total inflated adjusted spending for food. And when you back do it at 3% rate of return, you get $164,597. So if I had $164,597 today, and I put it in an investment that gave me 3% each and every year, I'd be able to afford food that's inflated at 3% a year. That makes sense. So our investments are working at 3%, food's working at 3%. Using the BLS numbers on average food consumption. And what we find is we'll basically run out of money at the last year. Our last check will bounce, which, you know, again, most people say that's what they would like to do. So it still gives it a ballpark. So we need about 165,000. Now, if I was able to get a 6% rate of return, and I need, again, to get 247,000 of inflated adjusted dollars, I'd only need 125,000 today, the day I retire, in which to pay for the average cost of food, according to the BLS Consumer Expenditure Survey, between now and 25 years from now at 90 when I die. And again, I'll have a little bit of money left over, not much, but a little bit. And so basically 125. So we're basically looking at 125,000 to 165,000 is what we need, depending on the rate of return you'll get on that amount of money, to pay for a food consumption inflated at 3% each and every year. Do you have that? All right. Now, I'm telling you right now, the issue that comes to all this stuff, the silliness of it, is no one thinks like this. The only time we think like this is when it comes to the Fidelity study and other studies that use that as propaganda to scare you. No one thinks, oh, I need this set amount of money to pay for my food. No one thinks I need a set amount of money to pay for my housing. I need a set amount of money to pay for my transportation. No one thinks about that, other than Fidelity came out with a study that says you need $286,000 today in which to afford your out-of-pocket expenses and co-pays and co-insurance for your health care. Okay, but no one thinks like that for anything else. So what's the point of that? It doesn't make any sense. We think about it as cash flow. I got a certain amount coming in, I got a certain amount going out. Why is healthcare the big bugaboo that everyone's so freaking out about? Because they see this big number that Fidelity shows that you need $286,000. And if you don't have that, what's wrong with you? You better start saving more. And by the way, we have all these investments that you can save with. And then insurance companies right behind it. Oh, by the way, you should get long-term care, because if you don't have $286,000, you will go bankrupt. Drives me insane. So anyway, that's how it shakes out. I'm just telling you, don't sweat it. What you got to sweat is how much it costs to live on a yearly or even monthly basis. And from where is that money coming from? That's what we're going to dive into even more as we go forward with that's what I'm working on my book is, how much does it cost? That's all that matters on a month-to-month, year-to-year basis. How much does it cost? And from where do you get that money to pay for those costs? It doesn't matter this other stuff. I mean, it matters. I get it. You know, my goodness, if you don't have any money saved and you're making $24,000 a year off Social Security and it costs $30,000 a year to live on, you're in a world of hurt. I get that. But most people, it's not the case. It's just not. So, all right. Well, stay tuned. I'm going to do one next on transportation. I'll go in my own analysis of healthcare. And I might revisit the one on housing just because the audio is kind of lacking. So don't forget to subscribe. Share the video if you want support. Share the video. Thumbs up, the whole thing. Smash. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.